completely unaffected, with Dillman's explanation as to why the no-touch knockout didn't work being just, well, baffling.
The skeptic was a totally non-believer. Plus, I don't know if I should say that on film, but if the guy had his tongue in the wrong position of the mouth, that can also nullify it. If I say I'm going to knock you out, and you raise one toe and push one toe down, can't knock you out.
Surprisingly, this exact same scenario took place again years later when a Fox News report visited the dojo of Dillman's star pupil Tom Cameron.
Oh, he had pupils that also set up their own dojos. That's dope.
Master of the same no-touch techniques and also an expert in dim mak, that's the same martial art as Count Dante, with Cameron offering to demonstrate his pressure point knockout on the tiny Fox News reporter.
God, you're scared. Relax, I'm not going to hurt you.
He refused to try the touchless knockout on me, saying he thought I may get hurt.
If you touch this...
Instead, he used a light tap technique to affect my nervous system. Wait, you just hit me in the head. We were less than stunned by this stun guns demonstration.
Cameron later claimed that the technique was only effective on 40% of people, despite the fact it worked on 0% of fighters at a local Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym. No one would like this stuff to be real more than me, because if this was real, then Dragon Ball Z is real and I can stop making YouTube videos. But much to my disappointment, there's never been a single recorded case of a pressure point knockout or...
Yes, that's actually the last time that they ever did real journalism on Fox News. After that, they signed on Daniel Cameron to be on the board, so he could also talk about how coronavirus
time, and
is fake.
Great to see you grow over the years
technique,
I've watched.
working on a resistant skeptic or in any kind of competitive contest. And the principles of energy that these techniques are based off have never been verified by any kind of scientific test. But if that's the case, then what the fuck is actually happening in these videos? Do these instructors really believe they have supernatural powers? And even if they do, why are they working on regular people?
7 months hassle.
And to answer the first part of that question, I want to talk about a fight that took place in 2006 between a mixed martial arts practitioner and a psychic Qigong master. I want to give a little warning here, just that I'm going to be showing footage that some people might find difficult to watch. I know these are meant to be contests between two trained fighters, but, well, they aren't. What you're seeing here is the no-touch master Yanagi Ryuken, whose mastery of multiple styles of martial arts, along with his innate psychic abilities, allow him to fight scores of opponents while defending himself with kinetic blasts of psychic energy. His abilities are so strong that he's even able to manipulate the bodies of his opponents like a marionette. And it was with these techniques that led him to be victorious in an unverified 200 Vale Tudo fights, basically no-holds-barred contests. In 2006, the 65-year-old Qigong master put up $5,000 of his own money, claiming he could defeat any mixed martial arts practitioner, a challenge that would be accepted by Iwakura Go, a Japanese journalist.
Guys, I think the content warning was important. I'm really sorry that I'm showing you literally the most like anti-TOS thing I've ever seen. I'm so sorry that you had to see this, that your virgin eyes had to see. Well, yeah, no, when he actually beats the old man's ass cheeks, he actually does beat him to a pulp, but even then it's like not that bad.
Trained in judo, karate, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and so the fight was set for November 26th, and in front of a crowd of 500 people, the two fighters stepped forward to face each other, and as a hush falls over the crowd, the fight began. So, I remember the first time I ever got punched in the face in a competitive spar. And what stayed with me wasn't even the pain, but just the...
By the way, I won't spoil it, but that guy The old man won, let's say.
Jarring sense of disbelief that I'd
Johnny
just
Pop.
been struck by another human. And learning to get over that shock, learning how to get punched in the face, is maybe the most valuable lesson I've taken from martial arts. And what I find so disturbing about this moment is we're watching a supposed master experience that same shock for what looks like the first time. He's in disbelief about what's just happened, the other fighter even checking if he's okay, before the fight continues and comes to a brutal, immediate conclusion. I don't take any pleasure in this footage. To me, we're watching an old man being violently humiliated on what has to be the worst day of his entire life.
Oh, shut the fuck up, bitch. No, this is hilarious, dog. Damn, this dude is too leftist, bro. No. It is literally hilarious. It is so funny. Yo, fuck that. Hey, yo, fuck you, granddad. Come catch these fucking hands, old man.
And it's pathetic and sad. I can't imagine what's going through the 65-year-old's mind as he kneels on the mat, clutching his beaten, broken face.
I literally beat his ass myself.
But I also think
Anyway, there wasn't even any blood.
it's
but
hard
still.
not to watch this footage and not consider the level of delusion that brought him to this moment. A delusion so strong that not even this fight could break it. Ryukin would later claim that his psychic abilities were not working that day due to an illness, and he has since returned to teaching martial arts, gaining new students.
Bro, come on, bro. He got his fucking ass cheeks clapped, dude. No, you don't get to come back from that, dude. You don't get to come back. Like, no. No, you sit the fuck down, old man.
And propagating his no-touch fighting style. And so when asking do these instructors actually believe these moves, yeah, it's likely they do. And it's probably a very simple delusion to trap yourself in when it brings a following, wealth, and status.
Like, look, these are old-ass people. That's so embarrassing, dude. Like, imagine being an old-ass person. Yo, this is like, at least now, you know, we got QAnon, which is bad, but at least now all these fucking freaks are just Joe Rogan fans. You know, they sit at home and they listen to Joe Rogan and they vote for Donald Trump. They listen to Joe Rogan and sometimes they go do BJJ, which is a real martial art.
Then what about the students? Why are they behaving like this? And to answer that question, let's look at another phenomenon where groups of people
This
gather
happened to me when I was 10.
you.
I was in the dojo and they started mentally moving people around. I was like, what the fuck, LMAO? What do you mean they
in
started
small
mentally
rooms
moving people?
and act in strange, bizarre ways. Psychologists believe that what draws people into cults isn't a desire for spiritual fulfillment or a search for some higher power, but simple human comfort. A desire that cults manipulate and prey upon, exposing the greatest insecurities of their members and offering them comfort and protection from it. This was the same psychological manipulation that let Charles Manson control his followers, making them act in strange, bizarre ways and even commit murder. The same promise of comfort and community that led to the members of the Heaven's Gate cult castrating themselves before committing group suicide, leaving 39 dead. And next to that, falling over to a hokey technique is nothing. Even look at this footage of the faith healer and alleged con artist Benny Hinn, and you can imagine that if Hinn had marketed himself slightly differently, he too could have been a no-touch master. And that's because it's all the same principle. Put all your faith into this one individual and they will give you the means to guard yourself from the evils of this world. And in the case of fake martial arts, that evil is a primary human and in they will give you the means to guard yourself from the evils of
Like, this stuff, at least they're look, this stuff is weird, right? It doesn't go over the top.
this world. And
What the fuck is this, bro? You're doing porn acting. You went way too
in
far.
the case of fake martial arts, that evil
It's like me in the fucking pool thinking I'm Goku or some shit flying around. Like in my imagination palace. Like, let's run that back again. Look, please, look, watch this, dude.
And in the case of fake martial,
like, what are these dudes doing in the back? It's like that famous Star Wars sequence, you know, one of the new ones where like the stunt performers in the background are just literally dying on their own because they forgot to put that in there. You know what I'm talking about? Was it Last Jedi or something where it's just like they're just dying on their own? They're like fucking flying around. You didn't even touch them.
martial arts, that evil is a primary human fear, violence from other people. And there's a tremendous amount of comfort in that. The idea that these people can teach you techniques that will make you immune to physical danger, creating a delusion so strong it's led to the kinds of footage we've been looking at this entire video. But it's also in that delusion that more insidious intentions can lie. And this, friends, brings us to the troubling story of James Heydrich. James Heydrich first entered public consciousness after an appearance on the American TV show That's Incredible, in which Heydrich demonstrated his stunning telekinetic abilities, which allowed him, through psychic force, to turn the pages of a phone book, rotate pencils, and even manipulate dollar bills encased in glass.
That's some real bitch shit, dude. Like, imagine being able to do telekinesis and... Did I say that right? I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. And then like, oh, what can you do? Oh, I can... Did I say it wrong? How... How do you say it? Fuck you! Ah!
Tell you what.
Ah! Telekinesis. Telekinesis. Fuck it. I'm gonna say it the way I'm saying it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. It's telekinesis. Okay? Telekinesis. You did, and you should be ashamed. Yo, learn 2 languages first, bitch. Americans speak half a language. Y'all can't even speak English right.
Tell you what, bruh.
Anyway. Where was I? Okay, so...
Telekinesis.
This dude has this, like, incredible power. They're like, what can you do with it? He's like, oh, I can move a dollar bill inside of an aquarium. Well, fuck that, dude. That sucks.
Heydrich claimed that these were psychic abilities he'd learned from his own self-taught martial arts, combined with the teachings of a Chinese grandmaster, and also claimed that he could pass these techniques on to children through special training. And so, through numerous television appearances and his own innate charisma, Heydrich amassed a large following of around 3,000 students, making Heydrich's dojo the largest in North America. And one very awkward encounter with the amazing Randy aside, Heydrich seemed like the second coming of Bruce Lee, surrounding himself in a delusion that thousands of people were willing to believe in and pay him for. But in...
I'd fuck him, dude. He's got the sexy bangs, dude. As long as he had a fucking winged eyeliner and a septum ring, dude, we're in there, dude. I'm in that pussy like swimwear, baby.
1982.
I'm just kidding. I'm just making a joke about myself about how I love bowl cuts.
That delusion would come crashing down around him in a television special called Psychic Confession. The special was hosted by Danny Corman, an investigative journalist and part-time magician who had discovered how Heydrich was manipulating these objects, and that was through a concentrated stream of air from his nose and mouth. And so, in a televised broadcast, Corman asked Heydrich to teach him these techniques and help him harness his own psychic energy. but then, unbeknownst to Heydrich, used the same blowing air trick to move the pencil. And just look at the shock on Heydrich's face as he actually believes he's experiencing genuine psychic abilities. Before Corman reveals to the psychic fraud what is actually
the best
happening,
part.
and Heydrich's persona of a Zen martial arts master falls away to reveal a deeply disturbed individual, as he recounts his childhood of neglect and abuse, how he'd frequently escape into delusional fantasies where ancient Chinese masters would teach him the secrets of their martial arts. If the story ended there, it would be amusing, if kind of sad, but unfortunately, 7 years later, things took a disturbing turn, as Heydrich was convicted of 11 counts of child molestation.
Of course he
All
did.
children he had lured in with the promise of his delusional powers, and then abused. This is where fake martial arts go from laughing at a group of people LARPing in a gym to something more sinister. And maybe it's not always as directly predatory as Heydrich, but that doesn't mean they aren't still dangerous in other ways. When I look in the backgrounds of a lot of these videos, I see people, vulnerable people. I see women, kids, people.
Okay, but that's why it's real funny that that old dude got his ass slapped, dude. That's why it was funny as fuck that the old dude got his ass beat. Like, if you recognize that, like, dudes are being taken advantage of and shit, then it's pretty funny. Like,
there to learn to defend themselves, but what they're being sold is an empty lie, something that would fail them in the potential most dire moments of their lives. And I think there's something really disgusting about that. So at best, fake martial arts are a dangerous, hollow fantasy. But at worst, they're a way to sell a delusional narrative and prey upon innocent people. And so, to end this video, I want to talk about one of those narratives, but one that's playing out right now and on a national level. I want to talk about the story
this is the dude
of Xu Xiaodong. Xu Xiaodong is a Beijing-born radio DJ and mixed martial arts
Yo, y'all are saying blood? They literally fucking blurred it, dude. His mouth was blurred. Please stop.
practitioner who unwittingly has become the center of a massive cultural war in China. One that began in early 2017, a time when the Chinese government was deep into a movement known as the Great Rejuvenation of the Chinese nation, a cultural campaign designed to instill national patriotism in the youth of
Bro, Tankies be like, this dude is CIA.
China. And one of the ways it did this was through the propagation of traditional Chinese martial arts, through means like making mastery of Tai Chi mandatory for graduating certain Chinese high schools, as well as airing television specials that showed Tai Chi as a way to unlock a near mystical power, with Tai Chi masters out wrestling judo black belts, dodging the thrusts of professional level fencers, and blowing back groups of attackers with a single powerful movement. I have actually done a year of Tai Chi and found it a really great form of soft exercise. Granted, one with zero application to actual fighting, but hey, that's not why I was there, and more importantly, not what my teacher sold it as. But that wasn't the case with these specials, one in particular starring the Tai Chi master Wei Lei. Wei Lei was a huge believer in the combat prowess of Tai Chi, stating he could defeat any mixed martial
It's got to be a little sus when, like, it's marketed to grandchildren as well as the grandparents. You know what I mean? Like, if it's fun, the whole family can participate in, maybe it's not gonna fuck dudes up.
arts fighter, and even break a rear naked choke with one hand, much to the ire of anyone who has ever been in a rear naked choke. Enter Xu Xiaodong. After Xu Xiaodong voiced his skepticism in Wei Lei's claims on his radio show, he had his home address.
Mods, you know what to do! Get him! fucking nuke him.
Doxxed by the followers of the Tai Chi master, endangering both him and his family. Furious, Xu Xiaodong traveled to Wei's training hall and challenged the Tai Chi master to prove his claims in an exhibition match. And in front of a crowd of onlookers, the 40-year-old MMA fighter pummeled the Tai Chi master in less than 30 seconds. Xu would later refer to this match as the fight that shook the heavens.
Hold on, I don't wanna see if there might be some
Indeed,
more blood
China
there.
was left in shock by the match's outcome, but rather than validating Xu, both the martial arts community and the Chinese media were incensed by Xu's actions, accusing him of attacking China's national heritage. Xu receiving over...
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, this guy he's CIA, bro. He's CIA, bro. He shouldn't have beat that guy's ass. He's CIA, dude. I'm going to defeat you publicly and KO you.
100 challenges from enraged martial arts masters. But by Xu's own admission, he himself is nothing special. He's just a mediocre MMA fighter past his prime. But despite this, it's obvious when listening to him speak that he has a profound love of mixed martial arts, which is a system of fighting mixing all styles together and discarding anything that isn't directly effective, creating a complete all-rounded system of punching, kicking, and grappling. But in China, MMA is still viewed by many as a vulgar, crass form of fighting, vastly inferior to the traditional Chinese martial arts styles like Tai Chi, Wing Chun, and the various forms of Kung Fu. And this is where Xu's issues begin. He believes that traditional Chinese martial arts have...
You want me to teach you the unpause way? It's the most violent fighting style. Hey, teach me the unpause way, brother. See, I'm pausing already. You ever seen martial art porn? What, like MMA? No. The people that assume he's CIA is insulting the Chinese people because it implies that they aren't capable of seeing through that bullshit. It must be America that exposed it. No tankies have said that, but it's my favorite thing is like whenever I talk about China, half the chat's like, oh, you didn't immediately say that every Chinese person is a violent psychopath who wants to fucking genocide the West. And half the chat's like, oh my God, you said that like China did something bad similar to like what America does in its never-ending conquest to be the global hegemonic power. That must mean you're working with the CIA. Every single thing that you have said is actually xenophobia and also CIA propaganda.
Have become a mass con, a means to brainwash people. Over-reliance on rigid movement patterns with little relevance to actual fighting. And while I love Kung Fu
loves a
for
strawman
reasons we've
tanky.
already
Okay,
talked
bro.
about, it's hard to argue with Xu's claims considering how poorly traditional Chinese martial arts have fared against other, more modern fighting styles. But to Xu, where the real hypocrisy lies is in how traditional Chinese martial arts have been protected and promoted in China, meaning people like Weilei can make claims to having tremendous power without ever having to prove it, and then go on to sell the false promise of that power to innocent people, all under the guise of national patriotism. And so, with the intent of showing the people of China a genuine means to grow stronger, Xu began taking on these Chinese masters, and a lot of these matches play out the same. The match begins, the strikes of Xu's opponent are shown as weak and ineffective, before they are bloodied and beaten by Xu. But as these fights went on, something strange started to happen. You might notice that in this fight, Xu is wearing this grotesque face paint, and that's because it was dictated to him that the fight wouldn't be allowed to take place unless he wore Chinese clown makeup, and fought under the name Xu Donggua, which translates as Xu Winter Melon, insulting the guy's weight. And if Xu seems especially angry in this match, it's because before the fight, his Chinese social credit score was lowered to the point that he was no longer able to use air travel.
Oh, bro, and more Adrian Zen's propaganda, dude.
or high-speed trains, forcing him to take a 36-hour hard-seat train ride to even attend the fight. And you might ask why Xu is being treated like this, and the answer is that the Chinese government really wishes he wasn't doing what he is, and so a campaign of harassment, censorship, and humiliation has begun against him. He's had his gym closed down, his social media accounts deleted, he's been forced to apologize, he's been fined tens of thousands of dollars, forcing him to move out of his home, his fights have been shut down by the police, he's been accused of being a spy, and has even been harassed and ostracized. This clip showing a group of 8 Tai Chi students blocking Xu from leaving his hotel. Xu's family have even been harassed in their home.
What are they gonna do, bro? Blow on them? Don't worry, you can clap their fucking cheeks. All they know is Tai Chi, bitch. Oh, Jesus Christ. What are they gonna do, bro? Are they gonna... Are they gonna blow wind at you, dude? Are they gonna do a tickle party, bro?
Home with Xu himself suffering public assaults. But the most painful blow for Xu...
Yeah, literally. You aren't leaving. They're gonna come in like, you aren't leaving, motherfucker. We got you. Oh, God. We're putting you in an air prison.
Blow wind at me.
Oh, I love that shit. I mean, it's like...
when he was disowned by
it's
the
like when I was a kid, like I wanted this shit to be real. That's so I get it.
All things he publicly spoke on in an emotionally charged live stream as the 40-year-old mixed martial artist breaks down in tears, recounting the isolation and torment he and his family have had to endure.
我20年待的地方，说没就没了。我在我自己的微博上，我写我很光荣，我是什刹海的教练。
This all came to an absurd climax when, in 2018, Xu faced his most high-profile opponent yet, the Wing Chun master Ding Hao. The fight was
Yo, what's the app that he's using to send these
high-profile
photos?
opponent yet, the Wing.
Like, it's so funny. It's like, first of all, this is like some straight, like this is Ip Man, but the exact opposite, where the Ip Man is the villain, and. What is this, like some special fighting app, dude? Is that what it is, where like fighters get to talk shit to one another? And secondly, the P-Man. Yeah, the PP Man. But secondly, like everything about this is so funny. It's like even the camera placement, the fucking fake background with like clouds and shit. It's so funny.
Wing Chun master Ding
And then
Hao.
he's like, do you still remember my fist?
The fight received massive media coverage, with many seeing this as the moment that Xu would finally get his comeuppance for spitting in the face of Chinese traditional values. But to Xu, this was his biggest opportunity to prove that his claims were legitimate. And so, in front of an audience of millions, Hao begins the fight with a furious attack on Xu. And from here, the Wing Chun master is repeatedly pummeled and hurled to the ground, each time saved by the referee. And finally...
Bro, dude. Okay, we watched this before on stream, so some of these jokes might be fucking repeats. It was a while ago, but...
and hurled to the ground,
dude,
each
look.
time saved.
Look, this is literally just anytime I fucking say anything about capitalism, here comes the fucking capitalism defenders, dude.
Referee.
Oh, chill, dude. Hey, stop it. Coming in. Vuvuzela iPhone! Vuvuzela iPhone! Vuvuzela iPhone! You're a hypocrite! 100 grillion dead!
And hurled to the ground, each time saved by the referee.
Is China Simps when you shit on China? That works too. Is China Simps when I say that there are concentration camps for Muslim Uyghurs, and the justification that the Chinese government uses is the exact same as the justification that America used for Guantanamo Bay? No, it's a CIA propaganda.
And
Adrian Zenz.
finally, after his
3-month pog.
sixth knockdown with 40 seconds left in the first round, the bell rings and the fight is signaled to a close. And in what has to be one of the most embarrassingly farcical decisions in martial arts history, the match is declared a draw. I don't
What do you mean a fucking draw, dude? He got his, draw my ass. He got his ass cheeks clapped, dude. Oh, it's fucking awesome. Beat his ass, dude. Beat his ass more.
really know what to say.
Beat the fucking referee's ass,
At
too.
this point, Howe later made the excuse that the studio didn't give him enough rice before the fight, resulting in his poor performance. And Shu is still taking on martial arts masters, remaining undefeated after 17 fights, and continues to endure a campaign of harassment and humiliation. I love martial arts. I have done for a very long time. For me, stepping out onto the mat,
He's a
and
gaming
letting life's
viewer.
troubles fall away,
He's a gaming watcher. That's why he's so fucking jacked.
as
He's
you
beating
give it
ass.
all against a skilled opponent. That's become a tool for me to deal with anxiety, depression, all kinds of shit. But I think even more than that, martial arts are a way for people to become more than what they are. Here's a little girl obliterating a tree with just her fists. Here's a guy tapping out an opponent twice his size. Here's a girl doing the same thing. With the right training and technique, martial arts can give strength to just about anyone. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. But when that idea becomes distorted and manipulated, it opens up a dangerous world of
Dude, I love them. They're just like, this is how he's fucking him up.
delusion, trapping people, cutting them off from genuine growth. And to me, that's the opposite of what
What is this?
martial
China's
arts
MMA club for
Hey guys, this is
poor and orphan boys? What the fuck
Watch
is
the
this?
great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn.
Christine from Vice's Brooklyn office. Our colleagues in China spent some time with Embo Fight Club, an MMA group whose founder trained and supported orphans and children from an impoverished region in Tibet. We follow the shy but tough
Mitch
MMA
McKinnell
fighter
looks
Banma
like a
as he
turtle.
prepares for his
Omegalol.
next
Mitch
competition.
McKinnell looks
Stay
like a
tuned.
turtle. Omegalol. Mitch McKinnell looks like a
做
turtle.
格斗这个时候
Omegalol.
不
Mitch
单单是
McKinnell
把一个
looks
打一
like a
下
turtle.
啊，
Omegalol. Mitch
Mitch
McKinnell looks
McKinnell.
like a turtle. Omegalol.
Mitch McKinnell. The fuck?
他的灵魂就是一种精神。你技术可以败，力量可以输，但是精神绝对不能输。我们少数民族也好啊，汉族也好，
A close friend, relative of mine, is actually the world champion in judo. He got jumped in a bar and he rocked like 6 dudes at once. Is that real? I feel like it doesn't matter if you're a fucking judo champion. If you're like in a bar fight, you can still get clapped by one dude, right? I always thought like bar fight rules are different. Like you might get hit in the head with a fucking... No, I know judo is real. I meant like... I don't know if that story is real because... As long as you get hit once, like... If it's 6v1, it's already fucked up. They could literally hit you with like a desk or something. You know what I mean? They could hit you with a chair. What do you do then? Yeah, you get glassed and it's over. Like there's no judo at that point. You're just fucking, you're done. I mean, if you can judo the fuck out of someone with all the rules, you're probably Thanos in a rule-free zone.
很多
No.
孩子是因为家庭
Logo Arjan.
成了孤
Logo
儿，
Israel is
成
Turkish.
了铁坤家庭的孩子。你18岁，什么铁厂也没有，家里妞没有，弟没有，工作钱没有，你往哪走啊？
Hey everybody.
Judo
That's
Israel.
我这个团队为什么收这么一批孩子？是基于让这帮孩子通过流血流汗变成武林高手，成为了一个职业的这个格斗的选手。
Has right, has left.
How does that work? I thought China didn't like MMA. They thought it was crude.
这样的话，德米特里已经有点趔趄。哦，漂亮！这是我看到过现在最漂亮的一次 KO，直接 KO。站立的单点节奏，漂亮。
Knocked him the fuck out, dude.
哎，我们的斑马其实相当的凶悍，速度非常快，漂亮！斑马斗鸡不用着急，可以让对手直接起来，再是一拳，连续的锤击，漂亮。
UFC currently has a Chinese
斑
champion.
马斗鸡也非常有气。
Who's the Chinese champion in the UFC? There are no rule to master. This is a Chinese UFC champion. Do you know if James Randi used to do this? No. Not the guy in the clown makeup. No, the fucking the guy in the clown makeup isn't even good. He's like mid-level UFC fighter. I mean, he said it himself. Like, he literally was like, I'm not even good. I shouldn't be beating these dudes' asses.
Word.
气势的拿下了这场比赛的胜利，感觉砸了对手。
他现在目前是1次 KO 3次 TKO， 然后5战10胜。在整个俱乐部他成绩不是最好的，但是他是最出名的一个。
Oh, this is Tibet.
这个气势很好，帅哥多得很，全都是帅哥。站起！吓我一跳！还给你那个彻底那些扎起那死了，哎呦！哎呀，还是我自己的舒适舒服，哎呦，真的。
Mid-level UFC's world-class MMA. He didn't fucking fight in the UFC, brother. That dude said he's like a mid-level MMA fighter.
导演最喜欢的就是你的眼神，但是你每次说话都是靠低着，表述的一定要精准，因为毕竟里面有文戏，而且因为这一次是因为时间的问题，可能对你系统的培养的话，时间是不够的。
明天见到导演了，直接上了车。
这部电影是描写我们中国的一个早期。
Did I say UFC? I'm sorry, I meant MMA fighter.
叫熊朝忠，因为熊朝忠这个人物角色，他整个背景呢。 跟夺姬比较相似，导演非常喜欢斑马夺姬的这种形象以及他的眼神，一眼就相中了他。就是在这个戏里面的设计剧情的设计是，你喜欢那个女孩子，你喜欢那个女孩子，那你肯定要表露出来，而不是看到她凶神恶煞的，上去恨不得把她给 KO 掉，看谁都想 KO 掉。
No, the fighter is from Tibet. No, that's what it said.
我是2010年来的吧。我们当时小学就2年级，他那个学费只需要交15块钱，我们家好像没交吧这个钱。然后后来就校长他们经常说我，确实那时候我们家庭就拿不出这些钱着嘛。然后那天有个我们校长的一个朋友嘛，然后他在那说，成都有个叫Boogaloo，就是给我介绍，主要内容就是打拳啊。 那里面吃住都是免费的，然后我觉得我可以去。
Did I forget the fucking? Did I forget to run an ad at SICK?
来到博格之后，我去还有上学嘛。我们上学的话，坐那个公交车是去上学，然后不知道我要去的那个地方叫什么。
I said I was gonna run it, and I think I forgot to click on it, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
这些都我不知道，因为我根本就。 后来那个司机叫我钱嘛，就是我听不懂，我就什么都没有，他就让我下车，然后我又下车。后面在我德王哥哥嘛，他们就是知道我这个地方下来之后，他们才过来接我的。真的，我当时就是觉得特别的，我说这辈子都肯定不会讲汉语的那种态度，真的。然后我就想着，哎呦，好久能就是像他们一样的这么。 简单的生活或者这么快乐，就是自己在干什么都知道。
Oh, his hair is so bad. I say, is my hair is bad too? Dude, he's an orphan? What do you mean?
记住，打出来就行。好，握手。看看，注意啊！翻。注意前手提高哈，前手拉高。
Dude, he hit the incense, which means he hit the incense, which means he has a power up. If it's his 4th one, he gets a health boost. Yeah, he got an HP boost off that. Little known fact. Yeah, Pokai.
速度。他给我的感觉，刚来的时候性格比较内向嘛，因为生活上从小担心，家庭也不是很富裕。 比他们同龄些小孩肯定比较自卑一些，但是相比之下，他在搏击这个事业上，他找到了让自己自信的一个点。手拉高，手拉高 ，stop， 停。移动或
These are the amazing jokes that keep me coming back. Wow, thank you.
上下，不要老是不要头，晃，大肚子在接头。
This is a mid-ass video, brother. You sent this to me, but I'm gonna be honest with you, this is kind of boring. Like, the pacing on this is rough. After that fucking video we watched of like an emotional roller coaster, I'm gonna hit the skip on this, dude. It's too chill.
At some point in the past, you may have bore witness to the ridiculous action film Bloodsport starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. Released in 1988, the film follows Van Damme as he participates in a secret martial arts tournament and ends up beating everybody because he's the main character. The film itself is your standard 80s martial arts action film, but what really got me interested was the end credit sequence, which states that the movie was based off the real-life exploits of a man named Frank Dukes. However, upon a preliminary investigation, it seems as if Mr. Dukes is either the greatest martial artist of this century or just a very
Van Damme? Seemed like you meant Van Damme or Frank Dukes.
Con artist with way too much time on his hands. This is the fictitious life of Frank Dukes.
I love Weeby, my favorite chatter, because in a sea of like fucking exclusively gaming debates, he will just hit a high note. Like, chat legit has the same amount of anti-China sentiment as the Fox News comment section these days. Like, he just goes the entire day. He will be like, "When are you gonna play video games? When are you gonna play video games? When are you gonna play video games?" I don't think it's quite funny that you are even joking about the fact that people develop parasocial relationships that are unhealthy, and you shouldn't be asking for it even as a joke. When is the gaming time? When is the gaming time? When is the gaming time? Gaming time when? It's been told by multiple sources for the past 7 hours that gaming content will come soon.
Let's start off with what little can be known for sure. Frank William Dukes was born on April 6, 1956 in Toronto, Canada. From 1975 to 1981, Dukes served in the United States Marine Corps Reserve, and from 1988 onward he worked sporadically as a fight coordinator and writer for a few action films. And that's it. You may notice that there is very little information on this list. This is primarily because almost everything said by Dukes about his life has been heavily contested.
Wait, I was just about to say he's
overweight. Primarily
overweight.
because almost everything.
Frank Dukes, overweight, irrelevant fraud. Dude, I love all of these dudes. There is one thing that unifies them, and that is that they're always overweight.
Things said by Dukes about his life has been heavily contested and denied
every fake
by
fight
various
Andy
sources,
is like,
and for good reason. Let's start with his supposed military service. Now, it has been confirmed that Dukes did indeed serve in the Marine Corps Reserve for 6 years. However, during this time, there is no record of him ever serving overseas nor receiving awards or decorations of any kind. However, this has not stopped Dukes from unleashing a slew of incredible claims about his supposed military achievements. For starters, Dukes claimed that he had enlisted and been deployed in Southeast Asia and the Vietnam War. However, there is no record of this anywhere, and the Vietnam War had actually ended before he even enlisted. Dukes said that for his exploits he was awarded the Medal of Honor, evidence of which has also yet to be found. As evidence for his supposed decorations, Dukes provided a photo of him in uniform with his medal, along with various ribbons and assorted decorations. However, his decorations were out of order, and the Medal of Honor shown in the photo was actually the version given to U.S. Army servicemen, despite the fact that he was a Marine. When he was asked about why he was wearing the wrong medal, Dukes said that the military had never explained the reason to him, which is basically the equivalent of saying, I don't know. Several years later, Dukes changed his story to say that his uniform was actually a Halloween costume, and then he later claimed that he never said anything about a Medal of Honor in the first place. A recovered psychiatric evaluation from 1978 says that Dukes was prone to flighty and disconnected ideas. Dukes was particularly fond of saying that the military had sabotaged his records, a claim that would see extremely heavy use over the coming years. Moving on to Dukes' apparently legendary martial arts career. First of all, Dukes claimed that he had participated in a secret martial arts tournament in the Bahamas called the Kumite and won several world records for getting 56 consecutive knockouts and the fastest ever knockout time of 0.12 seconds. He also claimed that, of course, he was the first person allowed to speak publicly about the event. However, an official from the Ministry of Sports in the Bahamas stated that it would be physically impossible for a tournament of that scale to remain secret for so long. Also,
this is literally every conspiracy theory, by the way. Physically and literally impossible to keep a conspiracy of that magnitude a secret. Just for the record, you can defeat almost every conspiracy theory with that counter. Which is why it's probably real, brother. That's what they always say, brother. But like literally, you can't. That's the whole point of like why conspiracy theories are oftentimes just not true. Because when does he get anti-Semitic? I swear it's coming. Oh, we'll wait. Maybe.
Upon closer inspection, the trophy Dukes claimed to have won at the Kumite was actually purchased by him at a local trophy store. Dukes directed his critics towards Richard Robinson, who Dukes claimed he had met at the Kumite. At first, Robinson corroborated Dukes' story, but after being confronted with the fact that he had actually met Dukes in high school, Robinson admitted that he only backed up Dukes' story because they knew each other. Another major
Dukes is like all leftists, falsely believing capitalism cannot uplift all of the working class. Invest your money and you can always become rich. It works. I definitely did it myself. Yeah. Yeah, I am currently on a one-way ticket to Indonesia to tell the fucking child slaves in the factory knitting your fucking little Nike sneakers together that all they need to do is invest wisely, brother. So stupid. Thank you.
Major topic of disagreement is Dukes' supposed master, Senzo Tanaka, of whom no records of birth, life, or death have ever been found. Dukes' story about Tanaka changed several times, initially saying that he had no clue what happened to him, then stating that he died in Los Angeles, and then stating that Tanaka died in Japan. It was also discovered that Dukes' master had the exact same name as the ninja commander from the James Bond novel You Only Live Twice. A very odd coincidence, but one which Dukes was more than happy to dismiss. While on the topic
like, motherfucker, at least, like, find a normal, like, just, this is the equivalent. This is literally the equivalent of, like, oh, I made this steak. Do you love this? Claiming that you made, like, a piece of steak, and then it's actually the first fucking Google image. Or claiming that you're a black person, and then when people ask you for proof, literally Googling black person, and then sending the first image that pops up is how you are a black person. Like, just, you know, at least go to the third page. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like saw a James Bond movie and was like, yeah, this is the homie. This is the dude I'm gonna use. We got plagiarism Peter over here.
Of incredible odds, we now
also, oh damn, before this happens, it's top of the hour every hour. If you want to see this knockout, you gotta subscribe.
direct our attention towards Frank Dukes' supposed fight record. In 1980, Dukes claimed that in his 329 fights, he had earned an astounding 321 wins, 7 draws, and 1 loss. However, this virtually impossible win ratio was somehow altered retroactively through what I can only assume is time travel, as in 2014, Dukes revised his statement to say that he had earned an earth-shattering 0 losses, 0 draws, and 329 wins. However, Dukes may have to amend this perfect record, as in 1993 he attended a martial arts trade show and got into a fight with kickboxer Zane Frazier, during which he was soundly beaten. Dukes later claimed that he was sucker punched by Frazier using brass knuckles, although this was not corroborated by any of the multiple witnesses. With that out of the way, we now move on to our final subject.
What's he looking at when he's hitting those kicks? Oh, he's blind? Oh, he's blinded in the film? Oh, okay. I don't fucking know. I didn't watch the movie. I always thought that. I just saw it and I was like, what? This is kind of odd.
Dukes' supposed work with the CIA. According to his book, Dukes was recruited by CIA Director William J. Casey, who met him in a urinal to give him directions. Dukes purportedly went on covert missions, including one where he blew up a fuel depot in Nicaragua. However, not only did every CIA officer he claimed to have worked with deny his claims, but none of them could even remember meeting him at all.
Bro, that's how you know. That's how you know it's fake. Why the fuck would anyone who's like literally in the CIA admit to war crimes? They only declassify those documents like 40 years later and be like, oopsie. Turns out we did maybe like gently push some death squads in the right direction, you know? Like nobody's like, yeah, we fucking did that shit.
In fact, though the CIA rarely comments on claims of this type, a CIA spokesman said that Dukes' statements were so preposterous that they thought it was necessary. Dukes reportedly included a photo of himself with former SEAL team leader Larry Simmons in his book, claiming that they were talking shop. Simmons later stated that Dukes was not talking shop with him, and that he believed Dukes was nothing more than a con man. Dukes also claimed that his father worked for Mossad and joined the Jewish Brigade, both of which formed several years after he was said to have joined them. This has been a general overview of the exploits of Frank Dukes according to Frank Dukes, presumably with more to come in the future as Dukes actually has his own website now. However, there is one more story that I've saved for last on purpose. Please keep in mind, I am not making this up. This is actually something he said. Dukes claimed that he was gifted a sword for winning the Kumite. However, when asked why he no longer had the sword, Dukes stated that he had sold it in a failed attempt to purchase the freedom of a boat full of orphans, whom he later rescued from pirates before stopping the assassination of Steven Seagal. That about wraps it up for today.
Yes.
I'll see you all later. Peace out, brothers.
That's awesome, dude. That's so good. Of course, bro. Dude, Steven Seagal had to fucking pop in on that one, dude. That's a no fake martial arts story is ever complete without fucking Steven Seagal, you know? Watch Shingami, the goat of overweight MMA, trust me. Watch this again by Tony about martial arts. No, Every Frame of Painting is incredible, but I'm not gonna watch it. Ferrari, the hungriest man in history. What is Salmonella Academy? Oh no, these are, I don't like these, dude. It's fake. Steven Seagal always knows what kind of danger he's in. Of course, dude. Of course it's fake. Steven Seagal has literally never been captured. Like, he couldn't be. It's impossible. It's physically impossible to capture him. What is this? Jericho made a video. Christmas stories are weird. What? We need China propaganda inside China's high-tech dystopia?
There's no disputing that Shenzhen has become one of the most important places in the world of tech. Nowhere else has quite as potent a combination of tech know-how, cheap manufacturing costs, and sheer speed.
Bloomberg is he is a dingus, dude. He is a simp. Remember, Bloomberg said, yo, neoliberals really get away with a lot of shit, dude. Like, first of all, Bernie Sanders, not even a big fan of China. But could you imagine if Bernie Sanders said the shit that Michael Bloomberg said in the primaries, where he was literally like, what do you mean? President Xi Jinping he's a wonderful leader, and he's great to his citizens. Like, and he's not even, some of the things that he said was ridiculous, but also, like, I think he said something along the lines of, these people have, like, if they did not maintain stability and order, their people would rise up and kill him and revolt, which is low-key not incorrect. I've briefly talked about this in the past, but to be fair, you need a pretty high IQ to understand dang.
But it goes further than that. Living in Shenzhen is in many ways like living in the future.
Please watch the Terraire video, even though
Wouldn't necessarily say he's a great leader, though.
Is insane. Great content.
More
Anyways,
like
love you,
the
Hassan.
other kind.
Socialism is when your government is backed by New York billionaires.
Consider.
Oh, fuck, Pog. I didn't know we had Chinese-style socialism in America, dude. That's sick. I'm completely dang-pilled. Before I understood Marxism, but thought simple reform a la Sweden would be enough. How wrong I was. Can't believe I never understood the genius of Deng Xiaoping thought, which was continued and expanded through within the three represents theory, and is now concluding in Xi Jinping thought. I've now read Deng and Zhang's collected works twice each, and The Governance of China more than I can count. Before this, I'd read Marx, Engels, Lenin, Mao, Luxemburg. Nice copy, Paul.
Zowie.
You might fav anime be boo. I don't
Zowie
know
operates a
WTF
factory
insane
much like
super
any
bait,
other.
but
He
much
said they
love
have to
Hass.
be responsible to their constituents like elected leaders are. He is right about that. It's not an incorrect take.
In Shenzhen. They make cheap smartphones and other electronics. Like other top manufacturers,
But I'm not surprised that Bloomberg would do a China
line,
simping.
work around the clock for a couple of years, and hopefully buy a better
I ran
life
the
for
ad
their
already.
families back home.
Didn't I run the top of the hour ad? I did.
The factories here are clean, and the work is precise. But things are changing quickly, in a way that does not favor the common man and woman.
All the rest of these lines are staffed by about 80 people, but right here there's new machines coming online that are going to build a smartphone end-to-end completely by robots. The end goal of something like this is to get the quality of the products higher, to bring costs down from less labor, and ultimately to keep China as the manufacturing hub of the world and fend off low-price competition from places like Southeast Asia.
The factory of the future looks like this.
It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. This is a pro-China video.
Pass components among each other, and finished products pop out at the end. All those workers have been replaced by one lonely final inspector. It's a strong sign that the future of Shenzhen is less for these guys and more for these guys.
Zowie actually builds these automation machines itself. Behind me are some of China's best and brightest engineers, hard at work building the machines you see out on the floor today, and the ones that are coming tomorrow that are going to automate the entire factory line.
Nowhere will face more turmoil than Shenzhen as the robots rise and send millions of workers to the unemployment line. But it's not just the working class that's facing a dark future. There are dystopian innovations that seem to touch every facet of life here. I ran into one example of this while attempting to rehydrate.
No? Can I use this? No? Okay. Doesn't work? Okay.
After some investigation, I discover what's going on here, and it